Hi guys, so this is called the troubleshooting video. So if you have an issue with your WorkSharp sharpener, I'm pertaining mainly to the basic models that you probably have. The new Ken Onion, I'm not going to talk about it in this video. I'll have a separate video on it. But okay, here we go. So first of all, there is a user's guide, and there's actually a video that comes with your unit too. The video is really super basic. You should watch it, but the user's guide is going to find very valuable. And I want you to read it. If you're having a problem, you might think that there's something in here maybe you didn't quite understand. So read through. But this video will point out those things too. There's a lot greater information in the Ken Onion booklet. You can see a lot more information. But that's a different sharpener. Okay. So watch the video, read the book, and here we go. First of all, I want to let you know this is not going to be the proper way to sharpen those expensive shears that haircutters use, the ones that cost $400, $500, $600 for a pair of scissors. No, they're sharpened differently. It's not the proper way of sharpening a straight razor. You know, your well, if you're a woodworker, your chisels and block plane blades and things like that, drill bits. No. All right. Now, again, you want to choose the right angle guide. I'm not going to explain. It's in the book as to which guide, which belt that you want to use. It's color-coded and numbered. That's pretty simple. So choose the correct belt. There's 80 grit, 220, and 6,000. And there's actually 10 different grits available from the company. So there's more than just the 3 that come with the tool. So that's fine. And I'm not going to explain, but you need to know how to put the belt on and off, put the guides over the top, adjust the left and right for the side, the tracking adjustment, and all that on this machine. And keeping it clean, that's important. If you get dirt in there, take a brush and clean it out, you know, and dust it and so forth. Wear eye protection if you need. If you're getting a lot of dust coming up, maybe a mask, okay? But the one thing that's not talked about in your book, which is very important, and this is why people sharpen a knife and they're not getting it razor sharp. They say, I did everything the book says and the knife's not that sharp. My question is, did you raise a burr? And they go, no. Or maybe they don't even know what a burr is. Well, here's what you do. The book says on an outdoor knife that you're going to take this knife, the red belt, the outdoor knife guide, and you're going to do 1, 2, you're going to do 3, 4, 5 passes on the left shoulder. And when the belt comes down this left shoulder, it will actually bring a burr over to the opposite side, the right, when it hits the cutting edge. So you look for that burr, and you'll see it in the light, so get a strong light. Sunlight works. Feel it this way. Don't go like that. This way you'll feel that burr. It's that little strip of light there. So you need that burr to be even from one end to the next. But just do your 5, and then you switch sides. You do 5 on the right. Again, you're holding the knife up against that shoulder, just using the weight of the knife on the belt. You don't have to jam it down hard. If you do, you could have other issues. So just draw it across, holding it against that shoulder, 5 passes. That brings the burr over to the left side now. Switch sides. And you want it even like that. Okay? If you don't have a good burr after doing the left side and then the right, come back to the left, do another 5, and look for that burr, and then another 5 on the right. If you still don't have it, well, you've got a really dull knife or damaged knife, or maybe the angle's way off, so you need to bring it down to that, well, we're using 25 degrees from center, 50 total on outdoor, 20 from center, or 40 total on kitchen knives. They're a narrower profile. But if you don't have that burr, then you need to continue doing these steps of 5. So it's 5 on the left, 5 on the right. 5 on the left if needed, another 5 on the right. Keep it balanced. Another 5 on the left if needed, another 5 on the right, okay? Once you get that even burr, however many sets of 5 it takes, on left and then on the right, then you strop it. It's like the old days. You did that 5 on the left, 5 on the right on a stone with your old hunting knife, you know, 5 on the left, 5 on the right, 5 on the left, 5 on the right. Maybe go through a finer stone, different grits, and then you would take your leather and strop the knife left and right, left and right. Now this takes the burr away, and then you keep stropping until it got so sharp that your hunting knife would be the same knife that you'd both skin an elk and shave with. You head down the river and shave. Now, we're cutting here against the grain. This is with the grain, either way. So there's grain to paper, you know, so test it both ways. This is an extremely sharp knife. It's the same way you would keep a straight razor sharp back in those days. You'd strop it on a piece of leather and then flip over to the smooth side and maybe put a little polishing agent in there and shave with this. Now, we don't recommend this sharpener for those, but there you go. So it's an old time-honored method. It's nothing new. They've been using stones and leather for thousands of years. We just use belts and micro mesh instead of leather. This is that 6,000 grit belt. So that's the last step. It's step 4. And so we switch the belt, takes 5 seconds, and you strop. You go left, right. Remember on the leather you'd go left and right. Same here. So this is 1, 1, 1, 1. So to review, you do 5, 5, 5, 5 with your red 220 to raise that burr on left and then move it to the right. And then you go 1, 1, 1, 1 with your micro mesh, it's called, 6,000 grit, and that removes the burr. And then it keeps getting the knife sharper and sharper to a point where it's razor sharp. Okay? So if your knife is not razor sharp, well, you haven't raised the burr. You haven't stropped it enough. Now, if you want it even sharper than that 6,000, here's a little trick. You get some stuff called JB Bore. It's called non-embedding bore cleaning compound made by Brownells. There's other things that work too. Flitz metal polish, any stick or paste type of polishing agent will work. And you take a worn out 6,000 belt that maybe you're going to throw away and spin some of this JB Bore onto the belt. So just take a little dab, will do you, and put a little of that on there. Now you just change it from 6,000 up to maybe 8,000. You put the guide back on there and you keep on stropping. You can strop as much as you like. It's unlimited. And this brings it even sharper. You can use jeweler's rouge and get it even sharper still. So it's up to you. You're not limited by the belts. You can go beyond the finest belt using your polishing agents and rouges. They're very sharp now. Okay? And to keep a knife sharp, you basically just strop it. Once in a blue moon, you'll come back and hit it with the red on the left and the right, 1 time each. That's 2 total. So resharpening is just a shadow of sharpening. So yeah, you don't want to overdo this abrasive. Every time you use an abrasive, you're taking metal off the knife. So you basically keep a knife sharp by stropping, just like leather. All right. So I want you to understand that, and that's why you're not getting the knives as sharp. Also, you could check this with loop and microscope and those burrs. All right. Okay, so now, okay, stropping a knife. Yeah, we've done that. Okay, removing nicks. Let's say you have a knife and it's got a big nick in it. Well, that just means you're going to have to do more of those sets of 5. Again, 5 on the left, 5 on the right, sets of 5, and 5 over here, and keep it up until the nick is gone. You can see in the light, you can see it's gone, okay? And then carry on and do your stropping and you're good. If you have bent blades, well, you can still sharpen a bent blade, but take something, a hammer or something, and put it on an anvil or something, and whack that thing down flat, and you can shape that tip back and then sharpen it after you've done that. Broken tips, if the tip's totally broken off, well, then you can come in with your green, your 80 grit belt, and you have 2 choices. You can either come in from the top, and I've done that on this knife, and bring it down to a tip again, or you can work up from the bottom and bring it back up into a tip. And then you're going to work, once you get the shape back in there, then you're going to use your guide and go through to the 220 and to the 6,000, and then you've got a sharp knife. Real easy. Extremely damaged knives, well, that could be a mix of broken tips and wide profiles and nicks and all that. Hey, you can bring a knife back. Again, just using these principles I've told you. Okay. Little tiny blades. Sometimes you have a Swiss Army knife with a 1-inch blade. Those things can overheat with a 220 grit belt, so go easy on those. You know, it only takes a few passes. You don't need to do 5 on the left, 5 on the right, and a tiny blade. Maybe 1 or 2 on the left. Get that burr, and then move over to your honing belt, and it's sharp. All right. So that's some of the things about that overheating. Now, sometimes you'll get a knife. This is people say, well, how come I have a knife and it's taken a dip out of the metal there, right near the heel there? Well, okay. The reason for that is you're running the motor continuous. You don't want to do that. And then you're dropping down on the belt, and that little extra time that's sitting there is taking metal out. Here's how you do it properly. Put the knife on the belt, then turn the motor on, And when the tip gets up into the belt here a little ways, by the way, follow the shape of the knife, so you want to keep it sort of perpendicular. You can take the knife and run it across the table and get an idea that, okay, that's about how high I need to pull the back end of the knife when I'm up on the belt here at the end. And as soon as it crosses that front of the belt, kill the motor. Don't keep it spinning. Don't keep it running across a spinning belt, or you're going to actually take the tip off the knife. See, that's another thing. So that's what happens. Another reason is, as you're forcing the knife hard down into that groove, and it clears that little shelf, and zip, it goes down the belt. That's going to take the tip off. No, just lightly touch the belt, holding it up against that shoulder firmly, and draw it across, and kill the motor when it gets into the belt. See? And you do 5 on the left. Each time it crosses into the belt, kill the motor. There's your 5, and then the burr will be there, and then you do the other side and do your 5 here. Floating it across, holding it firmly against that outside shoulder, turning the motor on as it touches the belt, and releasing that momentary switch. Don't use the full auto again as it gets into the belt, and try to keep it so that it's, you know, perpendicular to that cutting edge. Does that make sense? And that's how you avoid blunting the tips. All right. Okay. Blue painter's tape, not a bad idea. The same stuff that you use when you're painting a house. Put that over the guides if you've got a brand new knife and you don't want to scratch the blade itself. Okay, and keep the knife clean. Get some dust, get in there and dust it and all that. Okay, so those are some of the things. Okay, I think I pretty much handled this. But so, yeah, you know, in the Ken Onion model, it describes that in more detail. Exactly what I've been telling you here. Unfortunately, the basic training for the basic models doesn't explain all that. Now, repairs and customer service. The company is all over in your information in the book, the phone number, the address, the website. The tech support ladies go till 3:30 each day, and you can call them. They're really, they all speak English. They're up there in Oregon. They're not in India. And the warranty is a year on everything. A good, awesome company. We're the same company that makes the Drill Doctor line. We've been making these drill doctors for drill bit sharpening for quite some time, for over 30 years now. So we're famous for that. High quality stuff. Okay. You can also, they have a toll-free number, no problem. And you can subscribe to my Work Sharp Easy channel. So you'll see my videos. I have about 15 of them now on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe and watch these videos. I'll have some more coming out. And I'll do shooting a video on the new Ken Onion. Sharpener is a new one that we just got a few weeks ago. It's totally awesome. Ken Onion is a legend of knife making, and he got involved with the company, and wow, what a product. Totally amazing. So I'll do a separate video on that. Okay, so there you go. If you need any parts or accessories or belts, you can always contact me. Hopefully you got my information. So there you go. I'm going to end off here. Thanks for listening.